right, let's just jump right in. We're going to talk about something kind of scary. What happens when all the ways we talk to each other just disappear? And more importantly, who's there to pick up the pieces?
Seriously, just think about it for a second. The internet is just gone. No websites, no scrolling through social media, not even email. Just nothing. It's a really weird feeling to even imagine, isn't it?
And then, what if it gets even worse than that? It's not just the internet that's down. Your phone has zero signal. You can't make a call, you can't send a text. You are totally, completely cut off. Now, for most of us, that's annoying, sure. But in a real crisis, that's not just an inconvenience, that's a life-threatening disaster. Right, so let's get into it. When a big disaster hits, a huge storm, a massive power outage, this kind of communication breakdown, it's one of the very first things that happens. And it's one of the most dangerous. I mean, think about it. Communication is everything. It's how emergency services coordinate, it's how they ask for more help, and it's how we find out if our family and friends are okay. When that lifeline snaps, that's when the real chaos starts. So, who's there to answer the call when no one else can? Well, that's where this incredible, kind of invisible network comes into play. We're talking about a group of dedicated volunteers who use their own time, their own money, to get ready for that one day when all of our fancy modern systems just fail. The official name for them is Auxiliary Communications Services, or ACS for short. And let's be clear, these aren't just people messing around with radios in their basement. Nope. These are highly trained, super organized operators who provide an absolutely critical backup communication system for government agencies when everything else has gone dark. And when I say organized, I mean organized. Take the Golden Horseshoe Emergency Communications Group, for example. They've got a whole command team set up with folks like George Davis, Mike Crabtree, and Rosemary Upfield running the show and coordinating the entire regional effort. This is serious business. And the scale here is just, wow, it's impressive. This isn't just one little team. It's this whole web of leaders spread out across major regions. Peel, Durham, Halton, Toronto, York, you name it. Each leader is in charge of their own local group, which creates this incredibly powerful, decentralized network of communicators who are ready to jump into action at a moment's notice. So you might be wondering, how did they stay ready? Well, they practice. They train for the absolute worst-case scenario. And that's what we're going to look at today. We're taking you inside their 2025 Simulated Emergency Test, the SET, which is scheduled for September 20th. You can think of it as the ultimate dress rehearsal. This test isn't just a free-for-all. It's structured with laser focus. Across the whole Golden Horseshoe region, everyone is concentrating on two main things, just plain old voice comms and this really cool system called WinLink. Then, on a more local level, the individual groups can get into practicing with more specialized stuff, like data and digital voice. So, WinLink. What is it? The easiest way to think about it is email, but with no internet. It's a system that lets these operators send and receive messages, and we're talking full-on reports and forms, using nothing but radio waves. When the grid goes down, a technology like this is an absolute game changer. Seriously. And just to be clear, this is not some casual chat on the radio. The whole exercise follows these incredibly strict rules. It kicks off with a formal announcement, letting everyone know that a specific frequency is now being used for the simulation. They repeat that announcement every 30 minutes. And then, at a very specific time, they formally close the exercise. It's all about discipline and procedure. Okay, but what happens if a real emergency pops up right in the middle of the fake one? They've thought of that. There's a critical fail-safe. Any operator at any time can get on the radio and say the phrase, "No duff, no duff, no duff." That one phrase instantly stops the entire exercise. Everything goes silent and everyone listens for what's next. It's the ultimate emergency break. All right, so what kind of disaster are they actually practicing for here? Well, they're simulating a perfect storm. We're talking a massive weather event that's been specifically designed to stress test the system in different ways, all across the region. And this storm scenario, it doesn't just happen all at once. It unfolds over time. The first bits of information, they call them injects, about the storm actually go out the night before. Then when the test kicks off on Saturday morning, boom, there's new info. And by 10 a.m., they get hit with the final updates that throw a whole new set of challenges at them. It's all about testing how well they can adapt on the fly. And to really ramp up the challenge, the disaster is different for each region. So Peel, they're dealing with a complete power and communications blackout, total darkness. Toronto is getting hit with major flooding downtown. York is dealing with crazy high winds. And over in Durham and Niagara, it's widespread flooding and dropping temperatures. This means every single team has to tackle its own unique local crisis. So, with all this simulated chaos going on, what's the one thing that matters most? What's the real goal here? Well, it's not about being the fastest. It's not about sending the most messages. It's about one thing: passing an accurate message every single time. And the information they're sending back and forth, it's absolutely vital. We're talking about health and welfare reports, is someone okay or not, situation reports for the emergency managers so they know what's happening on the ground, formal weather reports, and maybe most importantly, requests for critical resources, like medicine or rescue teams. They use these standardized forms, part of the Incident Management System, or IMS, to make sure every single message is perfectly clear, short, and to the point. You know, in the planning documents for this whole exercise, there's this one quote that really stands out. It's a reminder of exactly what their job is. These volunteers know with crystal clarity that they are not first responders. They're not the ones running into a burning building. No, they are the essential, disciplined communication link that lets the actual first responders do their jobs. They provide communications. That's it. Period. So why? Why go through all this trouble? Why spend an entire weekend pretending a disaster's happening? Well, there's an old saying. In an emergency, you don't rise to the occasion, you fall back on your training. And that's exactly what this is all about. The end goal here is simple: resilience. See, after the test is over, they do this incredibly detailed debrief. They take every single message that was sent and they compare it word for word with the message that was received. They're aiming for 100% accuracy. Why? Because they know that in a real disaster, one wrong word, one misplaced number could have absolutely devastating consequences. And all of this really leaves you with a final thought, doesn't it? This amazing network of people, they operate almost completely in the background, preparing quietly for the day we're going to need them most. And it kind of makes you wonder, who are the hidden communicators in your community? Who are the quiet volunteers getting ready to be that lifeline when everything goes silent?